Computer.
Hello, John. Looks like we've both been to the dunes.
Well, no. Well, we've been to the dunes, but not recently. But
Well,
in a couple of months,
we got dunes behind us.
I live in the dunes, Cole.
You're Dooney.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, you're loony.
you're Dooney.
Hey, it's
I
been a
had
while, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just had my studio tour, and I can't tell you how many people said they listened to the show.
No, come on.
Yeah, all two and a half of them. No, there
Yeah.
were several. There were several.
Hey, how did the tour go? How many people did you get? You think?
Uh, Somewhere around 50, which was
Wow.
okay given where we live.
And folks listening, I totally didn't understand what I thought it was Cole every year being generous and kind and doing a studio
Yeah.
tour of his studio. And I was fortunate enough to be out for the Vision Retreat, our second one, which we're going to chat about here in a minute. And he took me down, and it's like, how many? There's like 50 different studios,
84.
84 that you can pick and choose to tour. It's awesome. Hey, did the gal from the pizza place come? Did she mention
You
her name?
know, I didn't ever I never saw her at the pizza place, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But
She was
she
a
didn't
younger
bring it up if
gal.
she came.
She would have said, I told her to say that I understand you learned everything you know about photography from John Barclay. So that you would have known it from that. She would have said that.
Well, no,
That's
I
too
don't
bad.
guess so then.
Ah,
That's too
that's too
bad.
bad. But hey, we were at the Vision Retreat recently. That's where we were last together. Do you have any thoughts from our second one?
Well, we didn't know going in what would happen. We hoped it would be the same as the first.
Yep,
I think we learned one or two small things from the first and we applied them to the second, which were helpful.
yep.
But I think the conclusion was you don't know what's going to happen until you see the people and the mix and how they all interact, work together,
Right.
meld together quickly.
And you're certainly on from our side. We hope we were somewhat spoiled on that first group because it was just kind of a magical group for whatever reason. Um, but we were a little, I think, safe to say we were both a little tentative, and
Yeah,
anxious
yeah.
inside that we would have that same type of response, and ultimately we did. I mean, we've had some good feedback from a few of the participants this time. It was just like a workshop or a tour. You know, different personalities present a different vibe, if you will. So, for lack of a better word, it was a slightly different vibe. But ultimately, yours and my goal is that they come away with a plan, with an idea, a more concrete idea of what vision is and how they might finally find it and follow it.
And I think that, like you said, it was a different group and a different vibe, to
Yeah.
use that 90s or 80s or 60s term. But it was good. And I do think the feeling I had was that everybody valued it. We did receive a lot of comments about how tired the people were.
Yes.
And we heard that from the first one, and we took that to mean physically. And I think it was clarified in my mind that mentally they were tired also. Several people talked about going home and not being able to turn their brains off
Yeah, Bruce
of
was
the
a great
idea.
feedback on that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
which
I do think we got to still give people a little more breathing room.
yeah,
The
process
long days,
yeah, not but processing time, but
yeah,
not behind a computer with a photograph.
thinking time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we were unfortunate in that it was terribly windy at our
Oh,
undisclosed
it
shooting location. So that was tough because it
was.
just provided a challenge.
It
But
did.
it all worked out well. And we in both groups heard great things after the event.
Yep.
But I'm always concerned, is this going to be something that they just are affected by for a couple of weeks afterwards? So
Yeah.
I went back and talked to one of our participants. He came to the studio tour, and that started a discussion. And I asked him, did it make a lasting change, or was it just something you felt for a little bit after the retreat? And Dennis gave us permission to
Good.
uh, talk about his experience. So let me pull up what he said. Okay. This is him answering the question, did it make a difference and a lasting difference?
Yeah.
To try to attempt to bring an answer to your questions, I think quite often about what we experienced that week. And I do 100% think it has had a long lasting effect on me and how I see and want to proceed with how I perceive and approach what I want to accomplish. That's a long sentence.
Yeah.
I feel like the most significant thing I personally have to remember is not to degrade myself and to say to myself, I am not an artist. Once I get my head on straight, then I feel like I come closer to meeting and knowing my vision more. Each time I photograph or finish a print, there is a momentum that has to be there for me. So I do something with photography or art every single day.
Mm.
Yes, I do believe the retreat has made a difference in my work, and it has helped me to think differently about what I am creating. Instead of creating an image of something, I am working hard to make it about something.
Mm.
I find myself not interested in photos that I once thought were astonishing. I find myself being drawn to images that I consider more in line with who I am and how I see the world. That part is where the work is for me. It's so hard not to be drawn somewhere that doesn't lead to your promised land, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, yes, the retreat for me made and continues to make a big difference, Dennis.
Wow.
So,
A lot there.
I felt good about that he's still thinking about those things. He's still working on him and his vision blockers. Not feeling good about calling himself an artist. I remember that being one of his. And he's working on that and becoming an artist because he's living the art life, as Brooks would say.
Yes. And he's trying to make images that are not, and I'm going to use a word we've used before, bangers necessarily, right? Not pretty pictures. And folks, please, before you cringe and want to write something about that, there's nothing wrong. We go listen to our conversation about a continuum. I mean, I was way over on this side of the continuum, and where all I did was make pretty pictures, right? And now I'm trying to get further over this side where what I can make is maybe more art like. Maybe it's more representation of the feeling. And I love that Dennis said he's trying to remind himself to make images about what he feels about what's happening or what he's being connected with. That's hard. It's not really easy.
And if you want to create, if that's your thing to create beautiful images, create beautiful images. But our mentality, and we hope our followers are here because they want to do something different than that. And he did. He was so proud. He brought his wife. She's a treat, and she's very supportive of him. And
Nice.
he brought me a gift. Let me grab it off the wall.
Oh, good. And you have it up already. Good for you.
Yep. He brought me a gift, an image of his that he really loves. And I hope this can, oh, shoot.
Hold it right in front of you. There we go. Now I can, oh, yep. Now, there you go. Right there. You're going to have to turn off that. There you go. Right there's good. Yeah. Oh, it's like a egg-like or like a vase of some sort of structure.
Yeah, and I told him it was a real challenge for me to not immediately say to him, "What is that? How did you do that? Where's that at?"
All those questions
Yeah.
that are meaningless with regard to your reaction to that photograph.
And they're questions that typically only other photographers would ask.
And what if
A viewer would say, "Gosh, that's beautiful." You know, they might ask, "What is that?" But yeah, so I'm still working on that as well.
You
Yeah,
mean the Mona Lisa? You don't think they asked him where he painted that?
yeah. I want to know what kind of brush he used.
Yeah, but do other painters want to know? Did he paint it in the bedroom, the bathroom, the living room?
What city?
Was he
What city was
drunk?
that printed in?
All
So that
right.
was
So
very nice to receive a gift from Dennis. And I was thinking that if I found out that the people who attend our retreat in 6 months don't even think about those concepts, it doesn't impact their photography, then I would say we'll stop doing those
I agree.
retreats.
Yeah. Why would we do it at that point? But you know, I think of Vipul from our.
Uh,
I think it's going to stick for him, and I think
Absolutely.
Bruce had a market
Abby,
change. Abby had a change. I mean, everybody. Tom, who recently sent something, and Roxanne, who's been to both.
Yeah.
all of them expressed at the end that they have a new direction of feeling. And so, but I like the idea of following up with them, each of these people down the road, just to see how they're doing.
And
And
when's our next one? It's in May.
May. Yep, we got
Okay.
one. It's full, folks, in May, but wait lists, although it's a private listing on my website because I knew it would fill up. But if there's ever interest in doing the Vision Retreat, please send an email to Cole or me, make a comment even, and I can private message you through YouTube, I guess. I'll have to figure out how to do that.
Now,
So,
we were lucky to have only 5 people. And how do you feel about that? The first group we had, in essence, 9, and the second group, 5.
well, and the second group was pretty adamant, a small group, as they really liked the small group. Uh, but for you and me, we've had success with both.
Mm.
So, and I hate to say this, but for me to make this a decision, it's a financial, this is how I make my living. I don't have second income. And so 5 makes it more difficult to make it profitable. That probably shouldn't be the reason, but it has to be part of my thinking. So I still think our number of 8 is a worthy number, and
I
we should
wouldn't want
try.
to do more than that.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, eight's a good number. I think certainly 6, might be ideal. Uh,
Plus, we got the size of my house. There's a physical constraint there
that's right.
too.
Yeah, probably 6 is an ideal number, and maybe we can work towards that. Maybe there's enough value I can change the price and make 6 work. But anyways, we'll have
Okay.
other conversations. Good to be back and visiting with you. Look forward to the next show in a couple of seconds.